You will use yesterday's lesson to see what you've gathered. Practice some problems now. Let's start with multiplying monomials, the first subheading in 6.5. Problem 1. 6y cubed times 3y to the 5th power. Pause the video here and write down your answer. You should have gotten 18y to the 8th power. Number 2, 3 times m times n squared times 9 times m squared times n. Pause the video here. You should have gotten 27 m cubed n to the 3rd power. 3 times 9 is 27, m to the 1st times m squared when you add the exponents is m to the 3rd, and n squared times n to the 1st is n cubed. Number 3, 1/4 s squared t squared times s times t times -12 times s times t squared. Pause the video here. Well, you know that 1/4 of -12 is -3. We have s squared, s, and s, giving us s to the 4th. And we have t squared, t, and another t squared being multiplied, giving us t to the 5th. The final answer should be -3 s to the 4th, t to the 5th. Now we're going to move on to multiplying polynomials by monomials. Number 1. 4 times the quantity 3x squared plus 4x minus 8. Remember, this entails using the distributive property. Pause the video here. You should have gotten 12x squared plus 16x minus 32 because 4 times 3x squared is 12x squared, 4 times 4x is 16x, and 4 times -8 is -32. Number 5. 6 times p times q, the monomial, now being multiplied by the quantity of 2p minus q. Remember, distribute 6pq. Pause the video here to see what you get. You should have gotten 12p squared q minus 6p q squared. Well, 6 times 2 is 12, p times p is p squared, and then we have times q. A positive times a negative gives us a negative. I have 6p and then q times q giving me q squared. And finally, number 6. 1/2 x squared times y times the quantity of 6xy plus 8x squared y squared. Pause the video here. So 1/2 x squared y times the first term and then 1/2 x squared y times the second term. You should have gotten 3x cubed y squared plus 4x to the 4th y cubed. 1/2 of 6 is 3, x squared times x is x cubed, and y times y is y squared in the first term. Then, I know I have a positive times a positive giving me a positive. 1/2 times 8 is 4, x squared times x squared is x to the 4th, and y times y squared is y to the 3rd. Now we'll move on to a new subheading, multiplying binomials. So I know that I have more than one term being multiplied by more than one term. I want to use FOIL. The quantity of s plus 4 times the quantity of s minus 2. Remember that you want to multiply first terms, outer terms, inner terms, and last terms. Pause the video here. You should have gotten s squared plus 2x minus 8. S times s is s squared. S times -2 is -2s. 4 times s is 4s, and 4 times -2 is -8. And you can combine the middle terms for a positive 2x. Number 2, x minus 4 squared. Remember that this means x minus 4 times the quantity of x minus 4 before you begin to FOIL. Pause the video here. You should have gotten x squared minus 8x plus 16. And finally, number 3, you have the quantity of 8m squared minus n times the quantity of m squared minus 3n. Pause the video here. (8m squared times m squared is 8m to the 4th. 8m squared times negative 3n is negative 24m squared n. Then I have negative n times m squared is negative m squared n, and negative n times negative 3n is positive 3n squared. After you combine like terms to find matching exponents, you should have gotten 8m to the 4th minus 25m squared n plus 3n squared. And our last subheading is multiplying polynomials. Number 4. The quantity of x minus 5 times the quantity of x squared plus 4x minus 6. Remember, we need to give everything our term of multiplication. X times x squared, x times 4x, x times negative 6, and then moving on to negative 5 times x squared, negative 5 times 4x, and negative 5 times negative 6. Combining like terms, you can pause the video here before you reveal the answer. You should get x cubed minus x squared minus 26x plus 30. Number 5, 2x minus 5 times negative 4x squared minus 10x plus 3. Follow the same procedure from the problem before. First, multiply 2x by every one of the 3 terms in the second set of parentheses, and then negative 5 by every term in the second set of parentheses. Pause the video here before revealing your answer. You should have gotten negative 8x cubed plus 56x minus 15. Finally, if you would like to challenge yourself, I have x plus 3 to the 3rd power. Remember to rewrite this as x plus 3 times x plus 3 times x plus 3. Also remember that you can do one problem and FOIL it one at a time. So start with x times x and x times 3, and then 3 times x, and then 3 times 3, and then take your answer and multiply that quantity by your last remaining x plus 3. Now this is a challenge problem, but if you would like to reveal your answer, it should be 3x to the 4th power plus 13x cubed plus 4x squared minus 21x minus 7. The video ends here. If you want to see your teacher for any questions you have, circle them and ask those questions to clarify. If you think you're good, you can now make a decision of taking a purple worksheet or a blue worksheet, depending on a practice level or a challenging level.